Okay, how's it going, everybody? I wanted to do another video right quick. My name is Mark. I call my channel Mark's Music Plays. Let me turn, okay, that's turned down. I wanted to talk real briefly. First of all, like we do on YouTube all the time, please, if you like the video content, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit the bell. Make sure you hit the bell so that it's supposed to give you a notification when I post videos. Please give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. I understand if you don't like the video. And also, please write some comments. It helps my channel. With one disclaimer, there is always one person that's always going to thumbs down my video. I think it's one person. I don't know if YouTube is doing that. But I believe I have what they call a troll that I banned. Basically, I kicked him off the channel because he was, very condescending and whatever the case, and he was really being. It's a long story. So he might have still go on. You don't have to be subscribed to a channel to thumbs it down. So I think he purposely does that, thinking that he's going to hurt my channel when you're not. So to make a long story short, so to keep on, once again, my name is Mark, and I've been doing this a while, and I want to talk about some things in case you never thought about this. As you can see, I'm in my front room / my small studio setup, and I made a video yesterday about, I posted it like late last night, about where do you want your career to go, where, and so forth. Now, let's say let's say most people that start a home recording studio and they want to do it for themselves as an artist, or they want to do home recording studio because they eventually want to record other people. Here is the thing that I'm going to say, whether a person is recording music because they want to become their own artist. I don't care if they're a singer, rapper, musician, whatever, or they want to open up a recording studio and they want to start recording clients. Here is some things. The minute you decide that you want to go either one of those directions or both of those directions, you might want to consider this. Just in case you have not considered this, you definitely might want to consider this, because this can be, what's the best way I can say this? The best way I can say this, if you don't do these things, you'll be doing everything for nothing. Kind of, sort of, financially anyway. I'm not going to say music-wise or creative-wise or whatever, but you would definitely be you won't make any money if you don't do these things. So what I want to do is I made some notes. I'm going to try to put these notes in the description when I post the video. But the minute you decide that you're going to be a home recording studio or studio in general, and you're going to start recording clients, you're going to open your studios, you are now officially a business. The minute you want to start recording clients, you have now become a business, and you must do these things to be a business. And I would say the first thing is, on the studio side, you got to maintain bookkeeping records. Every time a client comes, it takes nothing. If you don't want to do it on a computer, build a client listing type of record system. You can always go to places like, if they have Office Depot or Home or Walmart or someplace that sell, I believe, Office Depot or Office Max, one of those places, if they're still, I don't know if Office Max is even open. And find some forms that allow you to, you can go in there and look and see if you can find some forms that allow you to track clients every time they come to your studio. You want a time, date, stamp. It's a matter of and even in some cases get them to sign. It's like whenever you go, it's like reservations, creating like reservations. A certain client comes to your studio on this certain date, November 11th, 2021. They came to my studio from 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock. You want to create a record for that so you can always go back in the records. And when they do, you want to track the studio time. How many hours were they there? You also want to create a scheduling system for clients that want to book your studio for future. This is what a studio manager does. They're marketing clients that come, and they're people that are calling and reserving your studio because word gets out that you're a studio. People are going to probably want to call to book it, especially if they feel that they can benefit from coming to your studio. So you're going to want to create a scheduling system. Okay, I have a client scheduled to come in on 11th from 2 to 6, but you got to have some preparation time between clients. So whatever you think your preparation time would be, if you're going to keep clients on the same day. Once that client clears out and they got all their gear out of the way, let's say it takes the preparation time between clients is 2 to 3 hours. But I have between 2 and 6, but the next time is available is 8:30 to 2:30, 8:30 p.m. to 2:30, and you up until the time that you feel that you want to be closed. So you have an opening close time or whatever the case, So you want to create that, and equipment needed. You want to make equipment used and needed, such as they're going to use this particular mic, these particular cables, this particular space. For example, I might record a client that want to do some guitar and vocals. I can record them in his front room or whatever, or the hallway or whatever. I'm going to write all that down. You might want to come up with a legal agreement of what's expected in your studio. Like, for example, no thugs, or whatever. No smoking. No, cannot be, intoxicated. All these are in the agreement when they sign it. No, I don't want 5,000 people coming in the studio to watch, whatever the case may be. All these have to be understood. So you can create a legal agreement / contract for renting, for them to book it. And they sign that as well. And the last important thing that you're going to want to do is, how much do you charge an hour? And when you charge an hour, do you collect all the money up front? Or you can collect the money when you're done with the record? You have to come up with that, how you're going to work that out. But you definitely want to get the money paid. Do you take cash only? No checks or whatever? If you do Visa, do you have, one of those things that they can slide a card and it goes to your business account? That sort of stuff. You want to create that. So, and you want to create a profit versus loss. In other words, I scheduled a client to come in on this certain date, but they didn't show up. That's a loss because you lost. That time could have been used to go to a client that would have came, in case they no-show you. And then you can mark, in other words, you can give a stipulation of a client books your studio and they no-show you, they book and they don't come back, they got one more time to book it. If they no-showed again, they can't book your studio again after that. Things like that. Next, because we are becoming a business, you're going to want to create marketing for your studio, such as Wix or Squarespace, to create your studio. Or if you can do it yourself, have someone, if you don't know how to create a web page to advertise your studio, get someone to do it. But you're definitely going to want to advertise your studio so people know it exists. So Wix or Squarespace, or if you can do it yourself, or find someone who can create web pages, so forth. I say Wix and Squarespace because they already have templates to start a studio. You just insert your pictures and information, and then they can help you with a domain name so they can actually go viral, so it can be searched. All right. With that being said, because you are a business, it would probably behoove you to get you an EIN, which stands for Employer Identification Number. This is your federal tax ID number for filing taxes, because once you start collecting money in your studio, you have to report those incomes to the IRS, and that's why you fill out your business form, your taxes. So you're definitely going to want to get your a tax ID number. It's free on the IRS's website that you're creating a business. Now, what kind of business will you be? You want to become an LLC, because here's the thing: whenever you want to protect your assets, whenever people come to your studio, because you want to minimize the legal risk in case someone wants to take legal action against you for whatever reason. The LLC protects you from them being able to take, for example, you're doing it out of your house, they can keep you from, LLC will keep them from being able to sue you and take your house from you in a legal dispute in case you have to go to court and for litigation over a lawsuit. So you want to create an LLC. So you contact your state to file to get an LLC. I think that whatever the cost is per state. But you definitely want to become an LLC so you can become a legal business, limited liability corporation. And some people can be a sole proprietor where they can make money on the side and then they'll just file the extra money that they made on the side along with their taxes that they file every year. They file that with their personal whatever. But an LLC, you file your taxes to the IRS, so whatever money that made. Versus a DBA, which means doing business as. Some people will have a name of a business, of a recording studio, and that's what you're doing your business as, the name of your recording studio. But any money that you made in your recording studio, you're just filing with your regular income that you get in the year. I would say I would recommend an LLC in case you get in a lawsuit. They can't, the LLC keep them from taking your stuff in a lawsuit. All right, so which brings me to the next step that you should be thinking about, because now that you are an open recording studio, you're going to want to separate your account. No matter how much, every time you collect money from clients that are coming to your recording studio, you're going to want to take that money and deposit into the business account and separate that from your personal account. So if, for example, let's say you're making your regular job, if you have a regular job, and you do your studio's only open on the weekends, or your studio's only open when you actually get off work, and when you get off work, now you're going to run your studio the rest of the time until you go to sleep. So let's say you get up at 8 o'clock in the morning, you get home from your job around 4, now your recording studio is going to be open from 5 to midnight, and that's it. Well, as an example, or only open on the weekends, or how you want to run your hours. Any money that you made from your job, you're going to file your taxes that way anyway. That's your personal income taxes that you're going to file. Your business account will be any money that people, whenever clients pay you to come to your recording studio, that goes in that. So when you file the taxes on that, you don't have to worry about that. You being in a higher tax bracket with your personal income, because you're having additional income on top of your personal income. You have two separate taxes. So in other words, your business, you might only make $10,000 a year in your personal, or your studio only made $10,000 for the year, but your personal made $40,000. Well, the taxes on just the business account is going to be a lot less for you to pay than having $40,000 that you made on your job and $10,000 for the studio. You combine them, that may put you at $50,000. That puts you in a higher tax bracket. You got to think of it like that. So you want to start a business account. And another reason why it's going to become an LLC, because if you hire extra people to work for you in your studio, now you can create what we call basically a payroll system. The payroll system means all profits minus what you owe to tax, and then after that, now you can pay yourself and you can pay your employees, and so forth. Which brings me to one thing that I forgot to write in here, which would be you definitely want to look into business insurance that protects you, clients, and employees in case something happened. You don't want to be in your studio and all of a sudden a client trips over a microphone cord, hit their head on one a piece of gear, and it cracked their neck, and now they want to sue you because they got hurt on your property, which they can. Or a microphone stand fell on their head while they were recording. You don't think that people can be, there's a word for that, but people can be like that, even though it can be just a simple small accident wasn't meant to happen. Some people can be petty, like, oh, I got hit in the head with a microphone. Oh man, now I'm taking you to court. Because they can say, well, I can sue you for $100,000 because they probably, well, I got hit in the head. And now I got these eternal injuries. Now my injury is worth $100,000 or the price of all you're giving your studio. That's why the LLC protects you from them from taking your studio. So you want to get insurance, and the insurance said, okay, well, we'll pay your medical coverage. That's what insurance covered, you know. So you will look at insurance. Plus you want to get insurance on your equipment for theft, fire, damage, floods. You know, the house burns down, house gets flooded. If you got insurance, it protects the equipment. So you want to look at that. Now, with all that being said, let's look into a few marketing tactics as an artist, or whatever the case, or as a recording studio. A couple of things I will recommend now that you got your website and now people can actually Google it and it'll come up. Another great thing about that is you want to put your recording studio in like your local newspapers, like your Thrifty Nickel or whatever it's called in your city, your classified ads. That way people will have, recording studio, $45 an hour or whatever. Let me check that out. I've been looking to I'm trying to find a studio to do some music. You'd be surprised who's out there looking for a recording studio. Radio advertisement. You might want to check with your local radio station and see how much they charge to get some radio advertisement for marketing. You know, all of a sudden they're playing some songs and all of a sudden the commercial comes on. You work with the radio station, they'll create the commercial. Big Lux recording studio, 1214 Austin Avenue, Dallas, Texas. Hours 5 to midnight. Here's the phone number for contact. You're looking to do some great recording in your city, blah, 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 blah. This is Big Tune Recording Studio. Here's the number, 1-800-111-1111, or whatever the phone number, but you get the idea. So now they know how to find you. Advertisement, that's going to generate business. Now they hear it on the radio, they see it in the newspaper, they can go to Google, and on Google, you'll get them ratings for 1 star, 2 star, 3. Some people, I went to that recording studio, they jacked up my music. I'm getting them a 2 star. Another person go to the recording studio, man, it was amazing. They did some amazing recording me and blah, blah, and you get a 5-star rating. They write comments. That's just part of business. So, other things that I would recommend as an artist is definitely get yourself affiliated with ASCAP or BMI. Because once you get done out of the recording studio and you get your stuff on, it's going to be out there, and you definitely want to understand copyrights. Anyone in the studio that creates music, you want to get involved in the copyright process. If you're a recording studio and someone comes to your recording studio and they lay down some rap vocals, and all of a sudden you, as a studio owner, had to create some beats for them. Now we're talking copyrights, which is going to get you involved in getting involved with a PRO, such as being affiliated with ASCAP or BMI, and you want to make sure that you understand the royalty system and all the rights, the mechanical rights, sync rights. You understand grand rights, and so forth, your performance and all this, copyrights, the PA forms versus songwriters, compositions and stuff like that. You want to learn copyrights because if the studio on it happens all the time, people come to the recording studio and all of a sudden they think the recording studio is going to do everything for them, include create their music. Well, if I'm going to create your music, first of all, we're going to come up with a contract agreement. We're going to come up with some licensing. We're going to understand some copyrights and everything else. So we're going to get involved with ASCAP or BMI because when this stuff starts playing on Spotify, YouTube, Iheartradio, Pandora, the radio stations, whatever, commercials, TVs, I want to make sure my PRO, which is BMI, understands that this song is registered with my PRO, so now they can be looking for that song. They look and they go to every single media platform out there to see if my song that I contributed with that artist, or their song that I contributed with that artist, is blah 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 blah. So, and then I just threw out a few extra things for marketing, such as you can most people already know about these, like uploading your stuff to Reverb Nation. Yes, PRO will check Reverb Nation. Your PROs will check those as well. Soundcloud, Spotify, Pandora, and so forth. Another thing that you might want to get involved with is making sure that you're registered with Nielsen SoundScan. SoundScan is the company that track physical sales of artist music, whether it's being sold on Amazon Music, it's being sold wherever. You got CD if you're still doing CDs or whatever. They're tracking that. And they have what they call, there's the code, the barcode, which is the UIC, I think the UIC code, or the SCRC, I can't remember what it is. There's codes on the back of CDs and all that they scan for the track. And what they'll do is they'll report that how many units are being sold. That's how Billboard knows. That's how people chart. Billboard is a sales charting system, reporting system. You know, if they find out every week that this album, whatever, is selling this amount of units, the most over other artists, that's how you move up the charts. It's based on who's selling the most music. That's Billboard charting. And because of that, once you sell so many units, that's where the RIAA gets involved. If you meet a certain criteria of sales, you get an award for that. It's called a gold album. You sell at least 500,000 units. RIAA say, okay, according to Nielsen SoundScan and Billboard charting, they sold a 500,000 units. We can certify they went gold. That's how that gold album will comes to your house, and everyone that's involved can actually get that certified, or that's connected to it. The recording studio, the artist, producers, the record label, yada yada yada. Sounds Exchange tracks digital downloading. So whenever someone, let's say you have a website and people can buy your album from your website, and they can buy it for 99 cents, they can digitally download it. Sound Exchange tracks that. So if you sell 1,000, 1,000,000 copies of digital downloads, once again, Billboard tracks that as well. Those are sales. RI gets involved. You get an award for that. One last thing that you might want to look at as an artist is distribution companies such as DistroKid, CD Baby, TuneCore, Soundcast. There's a lot of them, really. There's quite a few. 1RPM. And to see which one of these or multi of these can help you with distribution as far as digital downloading. And that's, I just want to end it on that. Now, I did make a video on, if let's say you want to, you're a recording studio, but let's say you want to become a record label as well, to combine it all. So you're a record label with your own recording studio, and those are two separate businesses, because now we're contracting artists, and also the artists can now be that part of them being a contract is they have access to your recording studio. One example of that would be like Capitol Records. People that sign with Capitol Records have access to one of the finest recording facilities in the world, Capitol Records. Capitol Recording Studios, some of the best gear and all that. So I'm writing here 1RPM. Check out those distribution companies. So I made a video on, you have to search, if you have to first of all subscribe, please subscribe, and to go through my video and look how a record label is constructed. It would be beneficial to understand it, even if you're an independent record label, how to structure your record label. So now you understand, as a recording studio, I I would definitely say if your recording studio is going to grow into where you're hiring employees, you know, you own the studio, so you're the studio owner. You might want to hire a studio manager, and then you also might want to look at a maintenance crew, and you might want to also look at try to get in some other engineers to help when you're trying to do everything else, such as the other parts. If your studio grows to that magnitude, sometimes people don't. They can be the studio manager, the studio owner. They can be their own maintenance. Like me, I'm a one-man, one-all. I'm a maintenance, my own gear. I'm going to manage my own studio. I am the studio owner, and so forth. But sometimes you need help, especially when you start dealing with a lot of clients. Let's say, for example, I can do it, but it would be very, very hard because my house is not sound isolated from my downstairs setup, from my upstairs setup. So you would get tremendous bleed over if I was trying to run 2 separate sessions in my house. Even though I could run a session here, and I can also run a session upstairs, even though it would be, depends on what I'm trying to do. That would be hard to try to run a session here. But if I had a studio where I had like multiple control rooms, live rooms, and they're all isolated, I'm definitely going to want more than one engineer. I can't be in both rooms trying to engineer and record artists in 2 different places. You need engineers, and they need assistants to help set up and manage and help run the session with the main engineer. And you need a maintenance crew in case stuff breaks. And you're going to need a studio manager to manage all these clients. And this all is going to help your business as a studio. And like I said, I made a video on how a record label is constructed in case you're going to be a record label also. And you definitely want to understand 2 more factors in an artist and when they're making music is publishing. Publishing. So that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope some of this helps you out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Uh-oh. Bouncing the camera.